Next on stage, Akwayo ni mondo we clear that area. We clear that area. Exit no mondo bed cleared. Okadwa neno ng'ato kata chiel kanyo. Siaya hoye! Siaya hoye! Migori fire! Homa Bay hoye! Kisumu hoye! Piny Luoute hoye! Jiadimo ruako, ker marwa, muahero, muang'eyo, odungi ranga tangane gilweti gibat. Ere jo moruako, governor mawang'eyo, muahero, Siaya County orengo woda Jimmy. Jiadimo makonya ruako, governor, Homa Bay, Gladys Wanga. Jiadima konya ruako, Governor Mamigori, Oshilo. Tokoro eredo madwa konya ruako, His Excellency, Daktari, Engineer, Baba, Raila, Amolo, Odinga. We monda kuadhnu wakung'eyo. Mane ruadhwa kosok ruadhwa. Mane girwa kosok girwa. Jiadimo ng'eyo ruadhwa chiel kende. Gibat. Haya. Adwa miyo MC wadwa. Mondo konya lando. Welo manie ot ka. Nikech ging'eny gichalo lo. Tadwa ni mondo aparnu. Ruadhwa en ng'ata achiel miluongo ni His Excellency Raila Amolo Kizungu wacho ni Odinga. Ere joma konya ruako, Dr. Mama Ida Odinga, the first AU chair lady. Mane mama wa. Haya. In 2 minutes, Landna, in 2 minutes. Aroji Chogo, stand by. Onyipa Pajai, stand by.
Okay, we want to recognize the arrival of PS Mr. Alfred Kombudo, PS Trade. Karibu sana mheshimiwa.
Aroji Chogo, Kionge Masi.
Agodi, next on stage, Duogi. Agodi very fast. Wadwa ruako, ruadhwa chiel kende, muang'eyo, Daktari, Engineer, Raila, Amolo, Odinga.
Niombe sote tusimame wachumalo koro.
Agodi.
Daka winsi gala gala. Twende. In mitala molo Raila tibiro wito como magongo.
Mani luongo na kwambo.
In mitala molo. In mi pingo tinga unyalego tibiro wito como magongo. In mitala molo Raila tibiro wito como magongo. Gachawa nyocho pingo Raila sando yuakumali. Gachawa nyocho pingo Raila sando yuakumali.
Dakane badu jodana wa bat. Ere badu jodana wa.
Gachawa nyocho pingo Raila sando yuakumali.
Mani luongo na kwambo baba.
Gachawa nyocho pingo tinga sando yuakumali.
Mane ruadhwa.
Gachawa no yuakumali.
Mane ruadhwa.
In mi pingo molo.
Mane ruadhwa.
Raila tibiro wito como magongo. Aguambi coco.
Mani luongo ni ruadhwa. Agwamo wanyalego.
Orenga jimi coco.
Mana baba.
Coco.
Mana baba wa.
Arikiki,
Aya, asante sana. Asante sana. Ero urukamano. Asante sana, asante sana. Asante sana. Asante sana. Asante sana.
Hey! 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 Nyikwara mogi ajuang. Donjo.
Let us clear out here.
Donjo kosok donji. Ber kosok ber. Mitu kosok mitu. Daka winje sigala moro, sigala moro. Fuana uguti. Fuana lueti. Uruako baba. Uruako won piny. Uruako guambo. Uruako chuny piny. Ero urukamano. Watumishi wa Mungu muketi, nitawaita. Nitawaita. Ere urukamano nyikwara mogi ajuang. Akwayo jo picha. Ugo picha. Kaito umiyo wathuolo. Nango. 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 Nuokendo. Makawuono ni woe chumbi. Ungawe malainya. Akwayo ja kamera cha, ja live cha. Zuma nena, rit komonde. Adwa ni zuma nena, mondo jopinyo nenanga maja komorwako maber. Zuma nena. Nebe chusi. Pama nena. Donjo kosok donji. Your Excellency, sir. Allow me to request you, with all humility, that we all be upstanding on our feet for the national anthem of the Republic of Kenya, to be followed by the East African Community Anthem and the African Union Anthem. May I also request that all unofficial headgear be removed. We have official headgear. You don't have to remove them. National Anthem. we be seated? Your Excellency, sir, we are going into a session of prayer, and I'll request technician to bring me a microphone stand and microphone down here. Technician, kindly. We will begin with the traditional Luo prayer led by none other than Ajiki Kodhiamo, to be followed by Sheikh Rashid Owino, Masjid Bondo, and to be followed by Bishop Dr. William Abuka. Welcome, men of God. And even as the men of God come, may I request on my right, kindly, let us all clear that place. We also need a very good circulation of air. Nina waomba sote kila mmoja wakati watumishi wa Mungu wanakuja, na upande wangu huu pia. Welcome.
Your Excellency, the Prime Minister, former of Kenya, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, the care of Luo nationwide and internationally, Care Odungiranda, protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jotham Ajikiondu. I am a Luo, the 7th generation of Tolo Kodera, Jabilo, Manogolo Kisumo, Uyoma, Mokelo, Epinyo Guemongela, Kisumu Kacha. And the 12th grandchild, Marwango Dibo, Mawudra Mogi, Manonyolo Wanga, Muadgi Matar, Alamonya Sachira Mogi, Nikech Anrembra Mogi. Hajura, Ura Chala, Nyakwaruango Dibo, Sigara Chanda Jakawere, Luo Yoro Duto, Pinje Luo Yoro Pacho, E Paramo Gajuang, Enindolal Naja Kawere, Jugoramo, Amano Yoro Pinje Luo, Kisumodala, Raila Yoro Pinje Luo, Siadala, Joey, Anyangor Gimeri, Joey, Orenga Jimmy, Joey. Wakulowi wawaduto kendo walamo Nyasach Mogi. Kendikel chunyi machiegni nikech mag culture onyalo lal kodi nono kapo ni chunyi baya. Wakulowiwa Nyasach Moga juang chieng' mowuok to podho imbo odiochieng' kodiochieng' higni gana mochopo e got Ramogi. Wantie kawuono in sulwe ratego moneno nyako kinyi to ine tong wang chieng' mang'ang'ni marieny nogendni mag piny duto. Yaye Nyasach nyiseche kendo jananga ruodhi, neni gwedho kwarwa Ramogi gi joge mong'ado thimbe aore kod nembe migowo kodgi e dho nam. Waremo chudo kata sadaka kuom gweth waremo chudo kata sadaka kuom gweth misemiyo oganda mar Luo, jogi madongo mag Luo, Ramoga Juang Nyar Luo, Jok, Wango Dibo, Omolo, Omiara Mul, Nyand Guogi, Konya, to gi mamoko. wang luo mondo gendni machayowa uduok wang gi tielo. Magenga mane ker Jaramogi omoko pod liel mi ker odungi randa teko mar riwo luo to moloyo nyasi mar tipo miyawo kawuono migwena miyamono uro ganda teko mar riwo luo ma Kenya ma Afrika to gi telo mar Afrika modware kom kuone bwanga Nyasachwa. Wanaduogi chieng' machielo kwadhi got Ramogi mondo waduok ni erokamano bang' yudo loch. Sigandi lach oyombo tung' piny nyaka laga kendo tut mokadho nam omiyo walo misango piny kawuono amolo ni ka mar chiero juok Ramogi mondo ikuone luo duto bwanga. Walamo gi geno kendo wayie ni wechegi ochopi e polo malo piaj. Ochopi e polo malo piaj.
Walamuru e nying Ruoth Nyasaye manyalo gik moko duto, wuon piny kod polo, wachung' e nyimi ka kawuono ka wakwayi ni yie mondo igwedh nyasi ma kawuono ka wachake nyaka chieng' moro watieke. Kitimonwa kamano wanagoni erokamano e nyingi in wuon e miduong'. Amen.
Kawabet kamano waket chunywa wadwa lamo. Dr. Abuka monego bed lemo ka to konan mondo lem. Nyinge gato en Archbishop Dr. Julius Otieno. Walamo. Ruodhwa kendo Nyasachwa. In Nyasaye mantie kendo in Nyasaye mangima. Kawuono wabire pap mar migwena ka. Kaeri mane joluo robe kendo kagitugo tuke mopogre opogre. Nyasaye kwayi mondo ichak kodwa kendo bitie kodwa. Bende waketo jotendwa duto e lweti kotelnegi kod His Excellency Raila Odinga. Jehova wacho ni kumoro amora mwadwaro to mondo wakuong waketi e lweti. Bende wuoyo kodwa ni lweny koro ok en marwa. Ibro kedo nwa to aleng'a. Emomiyo waketo jaduong' Honorable Raila Odinga e lweti. Jehova wacho ni kirie badi kama to onge ng'ama bro dolo. Emomiyo nyaka desaya mare mar tarik 5 mar bedo jatend Afrika waketi e lweti Nyasaye. Bed joma kedo kod machal nade. Wanyonogi e lo e nying Ruoth Yesu Kristo. Kendo gionge kaachiel nyaka gi teko. Jaduong' kitimono kamano to wanaduogi pawni kendo nwagoni erokamano ka jaduong' koro orwako lep loch mar Afrika mangima. Ayie ni setimo kendo isewinjowa. Pod ne kiletwa down e gik moko duto mwasekwayi. Alemo e nying Wuod Yesu Kristo Ruodhwa. Amen.
Ero uru kamano jotich Nyasaye, dakwa pamne jotich Nyasaye. Ani pamne jatich Nyasaye maber yawa. Ing'eni ni nyalo bedo gi fulisa, Yesu to onge fulisa. Omiyo pamne jatich Nyasaye kendo. Ero kamano. Your Excellency, the incoming African Union Commission Chair, Engineer Dr. Raila Amolo Odinga, Your Excellency, the Governor of Siaya County, Honorable Senior Counsel James Agre Orengo, Your Excellency the Governor of Kisumu County, Honorable Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, Your Excellency the Governor of Homa Bay County, Honorable Gladys Nyasuna Wanga, Your Excellency the Governor of Migori County, Honorable Dr. Ochilo Bogoayako, the Minister of Defense, the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Jacob Okoth, Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum Affairs, Honorable James Opio Wandai, the Roots Party leader, Honorable Luchiri Wajackoya, the Senator Siaya County, Honorable Dr. Oburu Oginga, all senators present, all members of the National Assembly represented here, the Speaker of Siaya County Assembly, Honorable Okode, speakers of various county assemblies represented here, and all members of county assemblies represented here, Luo Council of Elders, Kir, Odungi Randa, and all esteemed delegations as follows. The esteemed delegation of the Luo Nation from the Republic of Uganda, the esteemed delegation of the Luo Nation from the Democratic Republic of Congo, the esteemed delegation of the Luo Nation from Ethiopia, the esteemed delegation of the Luo Nation from the United Republic of Tanzania, the esteemed delegation of the Luo Nation from the Republic of South Sudan, all delegations representing various cadres and levels of the structure of the Luo cultural leadership, distinguished guests, members of the academia, diplomatic corps, clergy, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, Engineer Dr. Raila Amolo Odinga, sir. Allow me to seek your indulgence as I invite my co-MC, Prof, to come forward. Thank you. Very well. He will come forward to do the second bit of the salutations. But allow me now to invite a man who has displayed diligence in steering the committee that has put together the Piny Luo Festival happening right now, right here in Siaya County, the Deputy Governor of Kisumu County, Dr. Matthews Owili. Welcome, sir, and guide us from this point. Dakwa pamne, Dr. Owili. Wakiko kisungu gidholuo, nikech jofuambo gikeyo manka, mako weche manka e pinje mopogore opogore, okwaya ni kwa wacho dholuo to bende wakike matin, mundo jomachal ka Hassan Omar manka, bendo winje. Erokamano and karibu. Technician, use this as you fix the gooseneck.
From all walks of life, urging to converge today for a common purpose. Baba, our patron, I want to thank you before the world today for trusting me to deliver this very crucial history for our people. Similarly, I must appreciate two magnanimous sons of the Luo Nation. Firstly, the governor of the county of Siaya, His Excellency James Bob Agre Orengo, for his mentorship and guidance with rich wisdom in the process of creating this event. And most sincere gratitude also to my immediate boss, the governor of the county of Kisumu, Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, for the latitude that he gave me to temporarily be absent, literally, for several days to work on this matter. Good people from Piny, from time immemorial, our ancient history documenting the migration of our people since the days of Sin Akuru Kuklubanga. We have been nothing but resilient, emphatic, exclusively kind, and honest to the core. In the global village of history of the United Nations office in Nairobi is the traceable, industrious formation of the Luo nation. In the struggles of the free world everywhere in Kenya, East Africa, and the rest of the world, the voice of the Luo has always been consistent and dependable. In the recent transformation of the world, the United States of America has benefited grossly from the magnanimity, diligence, and the eloquence of the Luo people. The Obamacare in the US remains as a pinnacle and is a default setting for the Luo nation. Caring, sensitive, effective, impacting, and indeed historic. And so as we gather here today, tomorrow, and in the future, we seek not just to celebrate the rich history and culture of the Piny Luo, but like the United Jews, we desire to knit together this unique creation of the Lord across the world to rescue the global village from the denting effects of economic shocks, contribute significantly to research in health across all fields, and to address the devastating effects of climate change and impact significantly every phase of humanity. This gathering, therefore, is a significant step towards establishing one indivisible fabric of the Luo nation across the world. May Obongo Nyakalaga, who has graciously gathered us here from Tunge Pinje, and ordain our intention and lead us into a prosperous future. Once again, on behalf of the committee with whom we worked, and they were from all the counties of Luo Nyanza, from Homa Bay, from Siaya, Migori, and Kisumu. Of course, the members of parliament and members of the county assembly, through your representation, wadwa wacho ni erokamano. And so now I would like to invite up front Professor Adam Solo to set the theme of the fourth Piny Luo. Karibu, Professor.
Thank you very much, Bwana DJ, Moluor, Raila Amolo Odinga, the host governor, James Orengo, the steering committee made of the governors of Kisumu, Homa Bay, and Migori. The cabinet secretary is present, the members of parliament present, delegations of Luo, from Piny Luo, from Anywa. Anywa, can you rise up? From Shiluk, that's Anywa. From Shiluk, from Padola, is Alur there? From Kumam, from DRC Congo, from North Mara Sibora. And we shall keep on introducing you at each stage as we recognize your leadership, but we just wanted to demonstrate that the Piny Luo of this year okay, thank you very much. So before I proceed to give you the theme of this year's Piny Luo, on behalf of Moluor Raila Odinga, may I take this opportunity to invite the care of the Luo of Kenya, Odungi Randa, Odungi Wadarange, the 9th care of the Luo. Care los Guillo Luo.
Wendo modhialo dichi makawuono, the right Raila Odinga, Governor duto, James Orengo, Gladys Wanga, Anyang' Nyong'o, Ochila Yako, jodong Luo duto gi welo duto mochopo amoso udo jokanyana mokwe uru. Oganda Luo Yeso pake. Aduogo nuero kamano mar moso uagoero kamano ni wendwa duto mochopo, mowuok e piny Sudan, mowuok e piny Congo, mowuok e piny Sudan. Odiochieng' makawuono uduenda aduogo nuero kamano mar chopo e Migwena ka. Migwena ka nigi histori maduong'. Aduogo nuero kamano duto joka Yesu. Yesu pake! Hallelujah! Ero kamano duto.
Mano is the 9th care of the Luo of Kenya. Let me also recognize another Luo from across the border, the Minister for Defense of Uganda, who is a Japadhola, Waziri Jacob Oboth. Waziri, I want protocol to get you a seat somewhere in the front. These years, Piny Luo runs on the theme of the spirit of the Luo nation. Juok Luo, Juogi mar Luo, Juogi Ochiero Luo. The sub-theme, and Luo unity in diversity and in the diaspora. When you go to South Sudan, there will be a Shilluk Cholo who is a Luo. And when you come to Ethiopia, there will be a Shilluk Cholo who is a Luo. If you go to Uganda, there is an Achol. And if you go to South Sudan, there is an Achol. If you come to Kenya, there is a Luo. And if you go to Tanzania, North Mara, Marasibora, there is a Luo. If you go to Uganda, there will be the Kumam, there will be the Alur, there will be the Lango. If you go to Ethiopia, there is the Nyua. So Piny Luo straddles the borders. And therefore, the ancestors are saying that the work that was started in 1953, as you should be told late, by Jaramogi Odinga, Luo Union East Africa, today we have another Luo, bigger Luo Union. Before I go into the program and lay it out for you, you might want to know that why is it that this time the Prime Minister and the organizing committee settled on a Piny Luo that extends to the whole of Africa. And it is said, the sages said, that the arrival of the representative Luo clans in present-day Lakeside Nyanza in the early 17th century marked the end of the Luo migration. A feat that was foretold and commissioned by our ancestors. Warua coming Piny. Warua coming Piny. Uneno ka program en Piny Luo. To an gi mama. Ma ema notheno Amolo Wuod Oganda. Kachandre ni Piny ni. Bane wachake ni min Piny. Koro min Piny. Obire romo mar Piny Luo. Karibu min Piny. Karibu min Piny. As Min Piny greets the dignitaries, she is still greeting the dignitaries. Being the Min Piny, being the mother of Luoland, karibu sana Min Piny, Budh orwaki, Buth Luo orwaki Min Piny. Having found and confirmed that the big lake, aside mountains and hills, as the Luo say, Nam Madit, Matie Iwigode, that was the commissioned final destination that was foretold by our ancestors, that it is at the source of the Nile that the Luo will settle. And they have settled to date. It is said that the Luo seers had divined at the time that the next series of cyclical Nile floods would be the worst, and that the only way was for the Luo to survive the floods was to leave the delta and follow the Nile to its source, the big lake, Namlolwe, where the floods would not sweep them away because of the elevation. That is why this day, Luos claims all waterfronts, Dognam. Luos claims all waterfronts, Dognam. To Jaluongi say, Manonambwa. Since then, Various attempts have been made to celebrate this migration fete. And today, we coronate, and the next 2 days after, we coronate the celebration of that migration fete. As the Luo moved, the tradition of absorbing other tribes to boost clan numbers have had some effect on the language. And therefore, as our MC said, we might not fully agree on the words from the Luo of Kenya to Achol, to Shiluk, to Anywa, to those living in the Gambela. But there are words which we will share. For example, the word apoyo, that the Acholi so love. And it is my turn to tell you, all other Luos who are here on behalf of the Prime Minister and the hosting team, wapoyo, for gracing this occasion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me just give you an overview of the program. That after this official opening ceremony, there will be concurrent activities according to the program. The elders will pass by the mausoleum of Jaramogi Odinga in Kangoka, Jaramogi, just a few minutes away from here, before proceeding to Gotramogi and finally to the Kopondo grounds where the cultural symposium will take place. In the meantime, there'll be several sporting and art activities going on at the same time. Tomorrow, the central activity that will combine most of us will be at Wichlum, in which the boat racing, teroburu, swimming, and so on will be going on. And then again, we will divide into different activities, including the cultural symposium, which will be continuing. And on the last day, when this Piny Luo will be graced by two heads of state, the head of state of Kenya and the head of state of Uganda, we shall start at Gotramogi, come down to Kopondo grounds before we go to Siaya Stadium. I'm asking the protocol to ensure that everybody has the program so that you can situate yourself where you want to go. As I leave the stage, having set the theme, the spirit of the Luo nation is beckoning. The spirit of the Luo nation is saying that Luos that straddle different borders are saying that we are one, even as we become from different nationalities. And they are saying that borders will not stop us from engaging, and that on the third day, we should be able to say what is our way forward in terms of this Luo unity. May I take this opportunity to hand over back again to the DG for Kisumu.
Wapamne Professor Adam Solo. Morris, for 30 seconds. Morris, where are you? For 30 seconds, please go ahead.
Check. I'm here. Thank you, technician. Your Excellency, I just want to acknowledge very special ladies in a very special way with us. Akwayo joturua ni mondo waruak gi gisironyo. Allow me to invite and acknowledge the presence of Her Excellency, Canon Dr. Ida Odinga. Zigalagala. Thank you. I was just acknowledging your presence. Thank you, First Lady. Thank you. And we are very happy that you are a servant of God with us as well. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of the First Lady of Siaya County, Her Excellency Honorable Betty Orengo. Sigalagala, allow me to acknowledge the presence of the First Lady of Migori County, Her Excellency Agnes Ochilo. We also have the wife to the Deputy Governor Kisumu County, Mrs. Owili, is also here with us. Thank you very much. Thank you, Daktari.
Thank you very much, Maurice. Mama, your arrival here today makes this gathering complete. The arrival also of the Defense Minister of Uganda. When the Minister of Energy, the Honorable P. Wandai, had his homecoming in Kenya, the same day you had your homecoming in Uganda. What a coincidence. And I was able to lead the delegation there. We warmly welcome you. Now, I want to invite up front a gallant son of Siaya County, a gallant son of Kenya, the Honorable Oburu Odinga, Senator Siaya, to now come up front and welcome us. Yeye pia ni youth leader, tumpige makofi akikuja. Karibu sana, karibu sana. Irua kwa Siaya kababa. Erokamano machiegni ahinya.
The Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, our patron of the Luos, and the governors who are present, the ministers, and all protocols observed. I'm not very good at protocols. Now, mine is very brief, and it is very, very simple. My role is to welcome you as the son, the eldest son of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who was the founder of Luo Union. Luo Union, I just want to tell you briefly that my father, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who is a son of this soil where you are this morning, Jaramogi was very passionate about Luo unity. Jaramogi wanted Luos not only to be united for purposes of culture, for cultural purposes, but Jaramogi wanted Luos to be united in doing business. He wanted Luos to be united in establishing insurance companies. They wanted Luos to be united in establishing a banking system. He wanted Luos to be united for the purposes of preserving their culture. And in 1953, he left all the businesses he was doing and went around East Africa. That time, his vision was to unite Luos in East Africa. And East Africa at that time was Uganda, Kenya, and Tanganyika. Zanzibar had not united with Tanganyika, so Tanganyika was separate. And I recall when my brother Raila was still young, Jaramogi took him around Uganda. They went to all corners of Uganda in a car, driving to talk to the Luos who were there and lecturing, trying to establish branches and establish them as institutions of the Luo culture. When Raila came back, I was very jealous. I was so jealous, I said, how can Raila go and now be telling us almost he recorded those things in his head as if it was a tape recorder. And he was telling us where he went to Gulu, he went to where, all those places. And I was telling my dad, why did you not go with me? So my dad took me to Tanganyika. We went to Mara region to witness what was happening and also to talk to the Luos and establish branches there. And Jaramogi did just that. You all know what happened to Luo Union, the original one. Because that did not only happen to Luo Union, it happened to all the other organizations which were bearing tribal names. But we have revived it, and now it is called Luo Council of Elders here in Kenya, and we want to establish a foundation for Luos not only in Kenya, but Luos all over the world. We have started with the Luos who are in the neighboring countries. We have started with the Luos in Ethiopia, the Luos in South Sudan, the Luos in Uganda, the Luos in DRC Congo, the Luos in Tanganyika, and the Luos in Kenya. I was surprised. I did not know, and I think many of you don't know, that there is a group of Luos in Congo, northeastern Congo, which is bigger and larger than you people here in Kenya. You think you are the largest group. I'm telling you, the Luos there are more than 4 million strong there in DRC Congo. And we want to unite, not just for cultural purposes, those dreams which Jaramogi had of uniting Luos for progress which includes business. And he started Luo Thrift and Trading Corporation. What killed those things was politics. Politics in Kenya. But politics has evolved and has changed. And we are in a position to now do what we could not do, what could not be done earlier. And those things I am very confident as I celebrated my 81st birthday in October here the other day. But I still believe that I will live to see this unity of the Luos. I am very, very pleased to be with you this morning at Migwena. Migwena, where we are placed today, is where my dad, this was a place where people used to meet for sports, for different cultural activities and sports. And this is where Jaramogi admired my mother and married her. So this is a ground which is very, very close to our hearts. I'm very passionate when I stand on this ground called Migwena. And I was not supposed to speak. I was only supposed to make a welcoming remark, even though the county boss, Jim Orengo, will give you the welcome for the county. But personally, I have given you a welcoming remark for this and also give a brief history of what I know about Luo Union. Thank you very much.
Wapamne Lwedo Kendo. Allow me also to recognize the county speakers, and especially the county speaker of Siaya, the leadership of the assemblies, and the members of the county assembly. I also recognize my colleague, Deputy Governor from the county of Vihiga, His Excellency Wilberforce Kitiezo. At this point, I want to call up front the chair of Dual, Dr. James Wambura Nyikal, the MP of Seme, to now come recognize his colleagues and give his opening statement. Karibu sana, Mheshimiwa. He was a very dependable member of our committee. Karibu sana.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, the care of the Luo Mzee Odungi Randa, all roots of the Luos from Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and DRC, honorable ministers from Kenya and also from Uganda, Your Excellencies, the governors from Kenya, and we know there are governors from Uganda and other sister countries, distinguished members of parliament, both the National Assembly and the Senate, professionals, the academicians, and business people of the Luo community, all distinguished guests. Yuthurwa umor giwendo makawuono. The Right Honorable, I take this opportunity on behalf of members of the caucus of Luo elected leaders, members of parliament, the Senate, known as Duol, which I think is familiar to our colleagues from across Africa, to first of all introduce those who are here with us. We start with our host member of parliament, Dr. Ochanda, who is the member for Bondo. We have Honorable Mwalimu Orero, who is the member for parliament for Kibra in Nairobi. We have the Honorable Dr. Oron, who is a member of parliament for Kisumu Central. We have Honorable Aduma Owor, member of parliament for Nyakach. We have Senator Beatrice Ogola, who is a nominated senator. We have Honorable Opondo Kaluma, who is a member of parliament for Homa Bay. We have Honorable Moses Kajuang, who is a senator in Homa Bay. We have Honorable T.J. Kajuang, popularly known as Chief Justice, who is a member for parliament for Ruaraka in Nairobi. We have Honorable Atandi, who is the member for Alego Usonga. We have the Honorable Ongondowere, who is a member for Kasipul Kabondo. We have Honorable Adipo Okume, who is a member for Karachuonyo. He is the tallest man in our bunge. That's why you can't see him from there. We have Honorable Abuor, who is a member for Rongo in Migori. We have Honorable Rosa Abuyu, who is the member for Kisumu West in Kisumu County. We have here with us Honorable Odege from Nyatike in Migori. We have with us Honorable Senior Counsel Otiende Amolo of Rarieda. We have with us Honorable Eva Obara, the member for Kabondo Kasipul. we have with us Honorable Dr. Lillian Gogo, who is a member for Rangwe. We have with us Honorable Anthony Oluoch, who is a member for Madare. We have here with us Honorable Joyce Osogo, better known as Bensuda, who is the women rep from Homa Bay. Right Honorable, and our visitors in particular, in total, the elected members, excluding the governors, are actually 40. And that is excluding the members of county assemblies. Out of that, 5 are actually members of parliament in constituencies in Nairobi. So sometimes we call them the diaspora. But now, the Right Honorable, we realize when we use the word diaspora in reference to members of parliament, I think this must start to include our colleagues from Tanzania, our colleagues from DRC, our colleagues from Ethiopia, our colleagues from Sudan, our colleagues from South Sudan, and I'm told probably from Chad. We have started a journey and we shall know where we all came from. Right Honorable, it is a great occasion for the great people of Luo origin to meet today, together, for the first time, for as far as I can remember. Maybe you saw more earlier, but in my lifetime, I knew before independence from the colonialists that Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania were basically one, and the Luos there lived across the border without any hindrance. Now I know that that is broader, from Ethiopia to Tanzania. We are one. To me, it is a great realization that has come today. The Right Honorable, these are great opportunities for us to share and appreciate all the attributes that come from our common genealogy. Although many years have separated us as we migrated, and this may have created many superficial differences, but the basic similarity amongst the Luo people remained the same. Professor Lowe indicated the words. But I was surprised one time when a friend of mine, the son of a friend of mine, got married to a girl from DRC Congo, the Alur, and we were preparing for translation when they arrived. When they arrived, we realized we did not need any translation. So our brothers and sisters, you are welcome, and we shall continue to be one. The basic similarity will always remain the same. Those of us in the sciences know that the genotype is always stronger than the phenotype. What you are born with in your genes will always show regardless of where you live. Twins that are separated at birth and raised in distant places separately are more similar in character to non-twins that are raised together in one house. So it is that our brethren, we are all one. Everything binds us together. The Luo nation, defined by culture and heritage, in my view, is definitely larger and stronger than what the political boundaries have defined. And some political boundaries are very recent and of colonial imaginations. Communities whose strength extend far beyond the geographical boundaries that tend to define and confine them. For example, the Israelis. To me, Right Honorable Prime Minister, their strength does not lie on the strip of land along the Mediterranean, but it lies in their solidarity across the world. The Somalis, as we see here, their strength is now not dependent on the country next to us, but on the solidarity across the world. Therefore, as we end this year and begin the next year with this great meeting and great union, let us purpose to recognize each other as brothers and sisters wherever we are, whatever we are doing, in whatever circumstances we find ourselves. Thank you very much and welcome all our guests.
Tumpige makofi tena Chairman Marduol. Erokamano, it is now my singular honor to invite up front our son and a gallant son of Kenya, son of Siaya, the Minister for Energy and Petroleum, the Honorable Opiyo Wandayi. So you recognize those who work for the national government? Mheshimiwa. You will recognize those who work for the national government. I saw my brother here, the PS of Trade, the Honorable Kombudo. I saw him somewhere. And then eventually you'll also invite your colleague from across to come and address us. Tumpige makofi akikuja jameni. Thank you. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, Your Excellencies, the governors of our counties, of course, Mama Dr. Ida Odinga, the first ladies of the various counties, my colleague or counterpart, the Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs of the Republic of Uganda, the Honorable Jacob Oboth, and honorable members of Parliament, both Senate and National Assembly, various government officials here present, Tokorjo Siaya Duto, Gijo Homa Bay, Gijo Kisumu, Gijo Migori, Okweuru Kendo. I will be very brief. But before I say one or two words, let me invite my brother, the Honorable Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs of Uganda, Honorable Jacob Oboth, just to come forward. As I acknowledge the Principal Secretary for Trade, Mr. Kombudo, where are you? Mr. Kombudo is there. And any other government official. Of course, I can see the MP for Iala, who is also the Secretary General of UDA, the Honorable Hassan Omar Hassan. We have the Secretary for Governance. Is it governance? Yes. The Secretary for Governance in the Office of the President, Mr. Joe Owaka Agir. I don't know if I've left out anybody who works in the national government. Of course, there is the advisor for governance, engineer or Mr. Dr. Sylvester Kasuku, who is our own son from Homa Bay County. And everybody else whom I may not have recognized. Let me allow my brother to just say a word before I proceed.
Your Excellency,
Raila, Amolo, Odinga, all the protocols here mentioned. Afoyo gneno win, afoyo bedoka. For you say Erekamano, but afoyo is more international. We are really very happy to be here for the first time. I'm meeting some of you. Honorable Tiende there has a family name in Uganda in my constituency. We want to find out whether it was his grandfather who... We are all very, very happy to be here. This is my very first time to be here, and I'm excited. We have a cultural group from Tororo, the Japadola. We want to ask them for just one opportunity to present in 2 minutes, and you see what we are made of from Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As the Tororo Cultural Group prepares, let me say this, for the avoidance of doubt, as I recognize, of course, the care of the Luo, Ms. Honorable Odunga Randa, and the Cabinet Secretary Emeritus Raphael Tuju, who is in our midst, and the leader of the Roots Party, Honorable Wajackoya. Just hold on. Yes. Okay, let me say this. Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, I want to acknowledge before this magnitude of people that you have led us well. The Honorable Raila Odinga has led us well. And at critical junctures in our history as a people, Raila Amolo Odinga has never let us down. He has always found a solution for our problems whenever he has been called upon to take charge. And not only as the Luo people, Baba has now been distinguished as the leader that Kenya recognizes as a problem solver. And he is now going beyond that. He is now a solver of the continental problems of Africa. So we thank you very much, Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Baba, the Luo people have withered many a storm. And because of our resilience, we have remained strong, even in the face of serious adversities, Baba. And we thank you for that. And it is because of Baba's wisdom and sense of occasion that today I'm addressing you as Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum. Yes. Yes. Koro gemadwa wacho katieko eni jo osechandra ahinya, even though they have benefited from devolution, which is now in its 12th year, I believe. Now we have got more than enough opportunities to benefit equally from the national government. And narrowing down to my docket, very, very briefly, we have committed to work closely with our members of parliament. And for the avoidance of doubt, on the 6th of January, I am convening a meeting of all Luo members of parliament in my office in Nairobi to agree on a roadmap to implement critical energy projects in our region here. We are not just discussing. As a matter of fact, we have gone ahead and allocated money, Baba. In these Luo counties alone, if I leave out the almost 12 billion shillings that we have negotiated from the African Development Bank, we have allocated close to 5.7 billion shillings, distributed as follows: Kisumu, 0.9 billion shillings. Siaya, 1.3 billion shillings. Migori, 1.67 billion shillings. And Homa Bay, 1.79 billion shillings. These are monies that we are channeling through our agencies of REREC and KPLC to address the issues of last mile connectivity. A project that is being spearheaded by the broad-based government under the leadership of President William Ruto. Finally, when I took over, and even as we speak, we have challenges of electricity supply here. One gichandrok marsi maturuaka, mapeka enya. I want to tell you what we are doing to address that in 1 minute. One, the Muhoroni GT plant with a capacity of 60 megawatts had been down for more than 1 year. As we speak, it is now up and running, generating 60 megawatts to our national grid, and especially supporting this area. Number two, the Sondu hydro plant with a capacity of 60 megawatts has only been producing 30 megawatts for the last 1 year or so, as a result of a breakdown of one of the turbines. We have put in place measures to ensure that that turbine is up and running in the next 2 months. That will bring on board additional 30 megawatts. Number three, the Gogo hydro plant in Migori County, which is the oldest hydro plant in Kenya, has been producing a meager 2 megawatts for all these years. We have now agreed with the president, and we have already secured financing, that Gogo hydro plant is going to be upgraded from 2 megawatts to 8.6 megawatts. And it's going to cost us about 38.8 million euros to do that. Finally, we are just concluding or completing the infrastructure, the transmission infrastructure from Sondu to Mbiwa. It's just about to commence. And yet we are just about to commission the Awendo Isibania transmission line. All that combined is going to address the issues of power in this region. But we must thank Baba Raila Molo Odinga, President William Samoei Ruto, for agreeing to come together and enabling one of you to head such a crucial docket that will ensure that our industries are powered, not only in this region, but in the entire country. Nyasaye madigwedhiru kama na yenya.
Erokamano, allow me to recognize the arrival and presence.
Yes, Baba, the history of the Luo has been said. We've had the Luo as the president of America. This revolution has not come to stop. We are praying for you from Uganda to have a Luo at the African Union as the chairperson. We are also praying in Uganda so that one day we shall have a Luo as the Pope of the Catholic Church. I just wanted to say a few of those words, but you know, the docket where I am, we are not at liberty to talk too much. But we love you, all the Luo people. Let's unite. Let's do what we can do together. There's a lot we can do together. And Baba, you are our international Luo team leader. We accept you.
Or the dance. So I think we're going to honor our brothers from Uganda. They have a cultural dance. that will be performed from the Jopadola, I believe. So this is the opportunity. Oh, please come. Karibuni sana. Kwa romano donkono.
Choco peri baneno. Pachungi malo, pama wacha mugitororo pama. Pachungi malo, pini maluodo, pama wacha mugitororo. Pipena bete yo malo, pipena kene yo malo. Pipena wana kopeho, pipena pipena wana ho. Wacha mugitororo, papa ni mama mamela. Atola udongi malo, wacha mugitororo pama. Pini maluodo ho. Malo, como fini malo, fuera, como fini malo, como fini malo. Fuera ya y la malo, me choco periwanero, y la boca ni malo, pirigo pini malo mi, perina malo ni malo, no voy a very well, no. Happy Nima Modango, Happy Nima Modange. Bokawaya Babalala, Bukaji Solo Palele, Obaza Palele Bele, Obaza Palayo Malo, Tejako Mawani Malo, Tejako Shiloki Malo, Pulawaya.
Allow me to recognize more guests here. Ruto David Onen, who is the supreme cultural leader of the Acholi, is in the house. Most welcome. We also want to recognize the leadership and the delegation from our brothers and sisters, the land of Uganda. Karibu sana. We recognize the presence of the religious community, the team led by Bishop Washington Ogonyongede and Bishop Dr. William Abuka. All of you, please feel welcome. And as the program was continuing, the county MP for Kisumu, the Honorable Ruto. I do that again. The Honorable Ruth Adhiambo Odinga, the county MP for Kisumu, is in the house. Most welcome, Nyakamami. And now,
I also want to recognize the county executive committee members from all our counties. Please feel welcome. And the county secretaries. We work very closely with the county secretary of Siaya, the Honorable Ogutu Karibuni Sana. At this juncture, Your Excellency, I want to invite up from the governor of Siaya, His Excellency James Agre Boborengo, to now come and handle this component of the program. Karibu sana Jimmy. Most welcome. We have members of parliament from the DRC who are also here. We warmly recognize you. Ajim, karibu sana Wunyamayanga.
Our sign language interpreters, you're welcome on stage as well.
Erokamano ahinya. Tich momiya maduong' mokwongo en luongo jomoko mabiro loso kodu kae. Tae bang'e tabende abiro wacho matin kapok aluongo jakom. President Marwa, Raila Amolo Odinga, Min Piny, Dr. Aida Odinga, kapok aluongo nyinge moko, adwa wacho ni kiriek migwena ka, to timie tim mane Jaramogi otimo migwena ka. En hai maber, ne higa mabiro ma en kiny, Raila Amolo Odinga dhi bedo president ma African Union Commission. To wuodh Raila Amolo Odinga nochakre migwena ka. Omiyo kiriek, rang bathi maber, nikech in migwena. Niker odungiranda gi jodongo duto maluo Council of Elders. Kendo kik ng'ato wach ni piny luo wan gi ker moro. Ker en odungi. Tony, Your Excellencies, the governors present, and I'll introduce you a little later. The Defense Minister and Veteran Affairs from Uganda, I want to say how much you love us, because although many people came here today, you arrived yesterday and you spent a night here in Luo land. We thank you for that. Governor Mapadola, we have a governor from Padola, a governor from Tororo. The governor of Tororo comes to Siaya and in Luo land every year with a delegation, with the Prime Minister, and I hope they will register the greetings from the King of the Padola. Ni pinje luo te, gijo telo mag pinje luo te, man migwena ka, agon wero kamano kum chopo migwena ka wuono. Togini, wach ma piny luo okoluonge, no luonge aluonga. Oluonge gi gimomiyo. Makawa akae, kawa migwena, mwadhi got Ramogi, mwatieko gi Siaya, luo duto mani piny ni, nyaka ging'e dhandgi kaka chalo, kama giaye kendo kama gidhiye. Ajik kodhiamo nyochi lemo na kamoro mi imora nikech ni ilemo titieko polo piach. Omiyo oganda maluo polo piach. Wana polo piach. Polo piach. Joey. Koro miauru thuolo monda luong gavana ma Migori. Wuod Jamoko, nyakwar Jamoko. Ochila yako bianega.
Hello? Piny Luo untie? Ka untie fwane uru gima jakethni erokamano. Your Excellency, the African President in waiting, the African First Lady in waiting, Ker mar Oganda, ma Joluo, mawaziri wa Kenya na Uganda, magavana wenzangu na viongozi wa kutoka tabaka mbalimbali. Hamjambo? Awache matin kamano nikech an emachung' ne Joluo ma Migori gi Jokuria to gi Joluo ma Tanganyika. Ka ibiro Migori County mating'o mosgi, ang'e ni wajumbe wanitie ka, wajumbe ma national. Ang'e ni wajumbe ma county assembly ma Migori nitie ka, ma wayalo go Migori. To maduong' ni Migori County king'iyo anyuola man Migori County te, iyudo gi Homa Bay, te iyudo gi Kisumo, te iyudo gi Siaya, te iyudo gi Tanganyika. Ka ine piny marongo, Rongo gin jaduong' manochako piny kama gambo niluongo ni Kasimba, no kendo gambi nyolwal, to Kasimba katimo nonro ne machiegni ni ayudo ni ne en ja Asembo. Kibira Wendo, tibiro yudo ni jo Awendo gin jo Sakwa, ma bende jo Bondo kaka na achiel kuomgi. To bende i Awendo kanyo, ibiro yudo jo Alego ma Wendo. Basi bro yudo jo Alego ma Wendo, to e jo Alego ma kaka ruoth nitie, Kakan nitiere, Kogelo nitiere, Alego duto ni kono. Jo Alego untie? Jo Sakwa untie? Kibiro Nyatike, ibiro yudo jo Karungu gi jo Kadem, to kendo mage miyudo Homa Bay, Kanyamwa gi Kabuoch, te miyudo Karachuonyo, tidho loka koni nyaka Asembo. Jo Asembo untie? Kibiro Uriri tiyudo jo Kanyamkago, mago jo Uyoma. Jo Uyoma untie? Ka intiere Nyatike yudo jo Seme. Jo Seme untie? Ka ibiro Awendo, ibiro dir Rongo matin e South Kamagambo, idhi nyaka Uriri gi Suna yudo jo Kisumo. Jo Kisumo untie? Aeto Migori bende yudo jo Chula ma Rusinga, kendo Chula ma Migori, kendo yudo jo Suba duto. Jongi neno ka Migori en mariwa. Awacho mano mondo ung'e ni wan jo Migori, wan kod kanyakla e piny Luo kama, kendo akelo mos mar jo Migori, hera margi kendo riwruok margi duto teka. Abiro gi First Lady ma Migori, First Lady chungane mondo jodala wa makoni oneni. Erokamano. An bende an gi wuoda machogo, although dichuo ok bed gi chogo, choke ne ng'eny, to wuoda machogo masomo Nairobi be nodwa biro neno Joluo ma jodala gi Ignacio Ayako eroni kanyo. En pod ok owinj dholuo to dwaro ng'eyo ni joluo gin jok manade. Akwayo ni jok manitiere oko ma joluo keluru nyithindu e piny luo mondo bong'e ni jaluo en ng'ama nade. Donga timo maber. Ok upamna kanyo. Kadwaro tieko. Adwaro mana puoyo Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Amolo Odinga ling'a kanyo. Raila Amolo Odinga samoro jomoko ma ok ong'eyo paro ni Raila ofuwo. Seche ma piny tek kabisa. To Raila mako osiep. Raila timang'o? Otimang'o? Nikech thuon mofuwo ema nyalo tero jogene lweny lolo gi tho to ling'a. Raila mako osiep mondo osiep no bende okony joge. Otimo maber kose ok otimo? Sani otimo maber kose ok otimo? Ineno kopiyo wuod Wandai wuoyo kaa kwa niaba mar sirikal gi kizungu mopuch. Kizungu motimore nade? Nikech osiep ma Raila Amolo Odinga omako. Inyalo paro ni kinde mokadho bende nomako osiep gi Uhuru Kenyatta. To kendo kinde mokadho mbele cha bende nomako osiep gi Daniel Moi. Raila riek kose ok riek? Tadwa nyiso kuma koro rieko Raila ogike kabisa. Uparo ni Raila seche moko ming'. Adwaro nyiso ni andaki mane ochiki e State House maka jaluo donjo kone nyinge to ok ndik tich cha. Raila ok omu mandaki no. Dongi winjo ka ndaki no koro ng'iengo lake igode cha. Olor kose ok olor. Mano ng'ama riek kose ok ng'ama riek. Emomiyo josiasa maduono, josiasa mago hiu ma ok ong'eyo ni gima Raila Amolo Odinga osetimo ne piny luo, osetimo ne jo Kenya duto, en gima lich ahinya ma podigo nyef to nyef mari nonge kuma bro teri. Gima nok go jodalawa, adwa duoko nwero kamano kendo an bende igilo na. Itimo nang'o? Ni iga manyien, ni iga mang'o? Ni ubro biro Migori mondo urome gi joluo, gi joluya, gi jokuria ma Migori to gi ma Kenya. Ji edi ma bro biro Migori iga manyien. Ero uru kamano, mad Nyasaye oritwa e kinde makawuono.
Erokamano, Your Excellency, we recognize the delegation from Rorya, Tanzania, led by their chief Karibuni Sana. We recognize the presence of Dr. Wenwa Akinyi Odinga, Nyar County Maka, Erokamano Mamin Mumbo. We recognize also members of the academia, the Vice Chancellor of Amref University, Professor Joachim Osur, the Vice Chancellor of JOUST, Professor Emily Akuno, the Vice Chancellor of Great Lakes, Professor Hazel Miseda. Your Excellency.
Erokamano. Koro giluoro akwayo Nyawang'aya.
Erokamano ahinya. Erokamano Jim kuom rwaka ka. Ne Your Excellency jatendwa made bibedo kochopo dwe mar 2 kuom ng'wono ma Nyasaye, jatelo mar Afrika mangima, Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, kaachiel gi min piny en achiel kende, onge mang'eny, en achiel miluongo ni Her Excellency Canon Dr. Aida Betty Odinga, ker mar Luo, jaduong' Odungi Randa. Erokamano. Governors wetena, waziri mar energy, jaduong' Opio Wandai, kachiel gi waziri mar defense mowuok Uganda, first lady ma Siaya gi first lady ma Migori, wabunge mekwa, protocol duto kwa luo, amoso ganda luo ni Nyasaye ber. Seche te kendo warwako kabisa joluo makawuono wafwenyo ni wane mwaparo ni wan joluo e Kenya ka, to kare joluo ng'eny mogik Democratic Republic of Congo, joluo ng'eny mogik Uganda, joluo ng'eny mogik Tanganyika, joluo ng'eny mogik South Sudan. Kuparo na gwambo dhi e Afrika, to ni padi un kendu ema un kode, ne joluo tete mag piny madhi chako kode Afrika, kodhi e piny mar Afrika. Warwako joluo go duto te. Adwa go erokamano maduong' na gwambo Nyalego, okego nea, wuoyi malich miwuoro gi mager makia ng'wech, ogiya kuom riwruok mar oganda luo e Kenya ka, to kendo koro komede gi Afrika. Riwruok mar oganda ok en gima yot. Samoro jomoko paro ni riwruok is a natural thing. Ok en natural. Riwruok en gima agwambo sekete effort maduong' gi jotendwa mag oganda luo. Mane momiyo riwruok wa e tekowa. Ma ng'amo temo ni nyalo pogo oganda luo, to walao wanang'owa. Adwa recognize kabisa Dr. Buru, erokamano gi jaduong' Wajackoya. An kae jakoma dwa wacho ni Homa Bay duto nika. Wan kae gi seneta ma Homa Bay, seneta Zario. Wan kae gi wabunge mowuok Homa Bay, gin kae kar rom gi kachiel gi women rep marwa. Wan kae gi speaker mowuok Homa Bay mar County Assembly. Wan kae gi deputy governor ma Homa Bay, jaduong' Oyugi Magwanga. Wan kae gi MCAs mowuok Homa Bay duto te. Wan kae te kwa biro e piny luo. Ajimi wonya mayanga, wagoni erokamano kuom rwako wa Siaya ka, kendo kuom loso nyasi maduong' ming'ado gi le machalo kama. Erokamano ne in to gi jo Siaya duto kuom chenro maber. Mine untie, nyina muntie, nyina muntie. Adwa ni mondo wachi ni kindiko historia mar oganda luo, gi kuma luo ae, gi kuma luo dhie, ok nyal ndiki koko ndiki mine manyinam kakose wuotho mochung' motegno ka joluo dhi mbele. Kwa chako gi kanon Dr. Aida Odinga, kane en miyo mayom, dobed nyar kumoro nono, sama na gwambo dhi e jela, doko duogo yude, duogo yudo kofundo, mose dar, modhi, moyudo jaka machielo, modhi obetgo. Nyanam kosok nyanam. Grace Onyango ondiko historia e Kenya. Grace Ogot ondiko historia e Kenya. Phoebe Asiyo Nyamuga ondiko historia e Kenya. Akinyi Wenu ambassador nokuongo yudo PhD e chemistry e Kenya mangima. Mago nyinam, mane momiyo kawane piny luo ka, e oganda luo ka, wambe kaka joma mine, wan gi riwruok ma waluongo ni sigand nyinam, ma kwariwore gi jowetewa bende, to oganda luo bedo motegno, kendo chung' motegno, kendo wadhi mbele kanyakla. Atieko kawacho ni kanyinena dweche 3 mokalo, nyineno dhako paso hiya. Sani kinena, ane national chairman ma chama maduong' mogik, south of Sahara and north of River Limpopo, chama miluongo ni ODI. Mano chambwa kako ganda. Omiyo ka chwadi ODM mokwongo to ngisa ni tuko tayari. Mara ariyo tingisa ni onge ringo. Uwacho nango? Aya, ODM! 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 Mane chama moriwo wakako oganda. Oganda luo wariwore gi Gor Mahia mpira. Oganda luo wariwore bang' Raila Odinga. Oganda Luo wariwore ei chama miluongo ni ODI. Ma wan kuma wadhiye mbele ni. Wang'e ni kochopo higa mar 2027 to ODM donje loch ka wan bang' Agwambo wuo Nyalego ni. ODM donje loch ka wan bang' Agwambo wuo Nyalego e nying Ruoth Yesu. Elders waduto moa be aneno uja duong' Apolo Bwana, ero uru kamano ahinya. Nyasaye ogwedhu kendo rito.
Ero kamano Nyawang'aya. Emobe abenda aywak ni nyinam. Nyinam anka. Nyinam anka. Abenda aywak nu. Emomiyo Siaya ahero wach ma mon wetena. Emomiyo ahero wach ma mon wetena. Teko duto akomine. Mon wetena untie. Mon wetena untie. Ng'ama teka dhako. Koro miyauru thuolo kokalo kuom jakom mondo aluong jatelo mar Roots Party Wajackoya.
Your Excellency, Raila Odinga, the First Lady, Mama Aida, Professor Anyang' Nyong', Governor of Kisumu, Nyawang'aya, awacho ni Nyawang'aya, awacho koso kawacho, Dr. Uchila Yako, Senator kijana Uhuru Odinga, Otienda Molo, and kora abiro wacho niya. First of all, Governor James Agri Orengo. I'm so privileged today to have been invited this last week by several Luo leadership, and I'm reporting this directly to Baba. I'm also privileged to say that when Baba did what he did, Mapiny Kacha, I've never said a single word in public. Jochako kuanani, why is this man silent? But I was consulting with Baba through James Orengo and Baba directly and Mama Aida. I cannot do without consultation. To Baba no kuanani namnai, tabenda di namnaiyo. Tukendo Baba chako tumogimoro maber kabisa kumwot Piny opio wandai, opio nka, recognition ma 100%. But before I continue, I would like to say that my entry into Luo blood is through Nyamagoya. Nyamagoya was a great woman who gave birth to my grandmother and gave birth to Otienda Molo's grandmother. So when you see that blood around you, be careful. And Mheshimiwa James, you have said something very important. That when Raila came around, Jaramogi came around here to do something. No kweto moko kambo yudo gimoro, bochako pando reto, ochako nyuolo nga. The Jaramogi family, I don't know how to please myself. I don't know how to thank you for the liberation struggle of this country and East Africa as a whole. And I don't know how to thank Mama Aida for having been, plus James Orengo, the two that God used to transfer me from this country when Moi was killing everybody to UK. And I'm making this known to our fellow Luos from Uganda, that if it was not them, I would not be standing here, particularly Mama Aida, when she made what she made through Jaramogi, to ferry me from this country when Moi was killing everybody. That is why, and that's what informs you, for what I've been doing to the Luo community. When things went wrong in Tanzania, the Luo community, the Roria Untie, I'm the one who took your 4 Diwanis when they ran here into exile. I'm the one who made their papers as a lawyer, and also your MP who was helped by Raila Odinga. So my interweaving within the Luo is great. That's why when Baba says things, I listen very, very, very keenly. Okati kodu yamo muneno yamo mangeng ni udikon. Yamo tonge. Ntie nyithindo moko mose chako paroni gibende ginyalo wuotho kamano. Mano kunyalre. Lakini majensi, I have a word for you. And I'm following what Baba said recently. And I'm not going to fear anything. Baba, please, I beg you, tell somebody somewhere not to take our children and abduct them. I know you have said that. Kindly pass that message very greatly. Ni abductions are wrong. Our children need to live. And I know with Baba being there, everything is going to be all right. I thank you very much. Tokaro kanyako morontie kamoro wariek wanyalo kata nyolo nyithindo moko mariek kaka wan. Ero kamana inya.
Ahero kamano Professor Wajackoya. Koro githuoloni. Owadgi Mary. Mosiepna. Magavana Makisumo. Kenyatta ne party on disone. Nani interim party leader. Ero kamano Governor Makisumo. Dakugone Joey ni ward Kisumo. Joey.
Jokanyana mutie. Muchiek. Eru kamano. Ana biro kaka wuono jakom kaka dhukum jakom Raila Odinga. Ege nyagem Mama Aida. Goburo siepna. Gijo duto manka. Awacho kama. Na ange na biro megwena. Omiyo kuna biro gi nyagem. Kejange ni megwena kame yude jomoko kamano. Omiyo kaponi sympathize koda. Tualos bange wayere. Ai Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Hallelujah. Mara riyo. Adwa goyo kamano jatendo Raila Odinga. Jafuambo weche moro nyicho penja mana juzi. Nto kaponi Raila odhi EU to koyudo to timango. Ako ni winjo. Oko dhi no try. Odhi no dhi yudo. Makofi basi. Because we must realize that when Jacom has made up his mind to do something, he knows what he's doing. When he made up his mind that we are forming ODM, he knew what he's doing, which direction we are going. It doesn't matter how many difficulties we have found on the way. We have resolved. Forward ever. Backward never. Mara riyo. Adwa wacho gimoro kuom Jaramogi. Jaramogi was an institution builder for the Luo community, for the nation of Kenya, for Africa as a whole. And I remember one of the things he did before he died was to champion Ramogi Institute of Advanced Technology. Kaka no wachega. Ramogi Institute of what? Advanced Technology. Matindu neno Kisumocha. At that point in time, I remember very well, it was very difficult to collect money for it. I don't want to go to the circumstances, but he managed. The leadership and the daringness of Jaramogi, it was inherited by his family. Uhuru, Raila, Nyagem. Secondly, kono maro wacho gi Kisungu. Uye. Awashi. Leadership is not for those who want to get benefits. Waswahili wanasema kujitolea mhanga. You must give yourself to labor and to ask for no rewards. To labor and to ask for no rewards. That is what true leadership is. And we are seeing it in our leader. Therefore, all those of us who are here, who want to stand for anything elective, please know that if you want to be a leader, please be a leader and not ask for any reward. Indeed, it is the true leaders who have been persecuted most on this earth, beginning with Jesus Christ, St. Paul, and many others. And therefore, in Lowland today, we are here because the people who organize this place, this thing today, Jim Orengo, thank you very much for the leadership you have shown. You are doing it with this team from both Siaya and Kisumu County. Not because we want any reward, but we want to build a movement, an institution for the Luo people. And therefore, I will do to Jotelo Manka, Karombu. Let us continue with giving up ourselves to serve our nation and serve our people, so that something like this can happen because of the dedication of the leaders here, led by my friend Jim Orengo. Jim, thank you very much for what you have done. And what you have done with our Deputy Governor, Dr. Willie, and the team you are working with. Here in Kisumu, we have MPs from Kisumu County. Can you stand up? Dr. Ron is there. I think over there, my eyes are not very good. Nikal is there. And then, Father, I need to change my glasses. Aduma Makuwur. Then Ruto Odinga, the senator. The woman rep, sorry. So we are here representing Kisumu County in full. And we are going back to report to the people that this cultural event will continue into the future to show the culture of the Luo people internationally, not just in Kenya. Bwana Yesu asifiwe.
Ero kamano. Koro kuyena. Adwani aluong Jacob.
Sorry, we recognize the presence of the Secretary General of the UDA party, the Honorable Hassan Omar. Karibu sana. We also recognize the founders of the Luo Renaissance, Professor Woro Lunga, Professor Ben Sihanya, Henry Mien, and Engineer Kerry Orege. Our facilitators, because now we are concluding from here, Professor Mary Goretti Otieno will recognize you, Professor Larry Gumbe, Mwalimu Polikapochilo, Professor Obonyo Digolo, Dr. Elizabeth Owete, Dr. Hao, and Dr. Isaiah Nyandega. Karibuni sana. We also recognize the presence of the founding Vice Chancellor of TUK, Professor Francis Oduol. Your Excellency.
Ero kamano. Koro sane. Adwa luongo, one of the most powerful women and Kenyan in this country. Not just in Kenya, but entire Africa and the world. Min Piny, on your own, you are a fighter. You are a freedom fighter. And I can be a witness to that. Ruak nauru Min Piny, gisigalagala. Ero kamano.
Malo, malo, yo le voy a malo. Que paro. jaluo malo. Kiriambo wasungu to kingo riambo noa. Onyiso wasungu ni Kenya is marwa. Wasungu manyo gino tamore onge. Kimanyo gino nyaka yoloka. Kiduogo gipenjo okinga matango.
Erukamano. Mokwongo agoero kamano maduong' ni Nyasaye me polo. Obongo nyaka laga. Momi wabiro ka wabet ka tieng' machal kamanieri. Eneno jomobet piny ok unyal ng'eyo ni dhano ni kama chal nade. Kata bende nakia sama abet. To kara ulich mana kama. Kara ulich mana kama. Ng'amo kochopo ka. To en ng'ano. Ng'amo kochopo ka to en ng'ano. To kapodi nieyo reti chopi. Pod wabiro bedo gi budho kiny. Goruecha. Omiyo nyaku chopi. Mar ariyo, agoero kamano ni jok moparo. Mokelo ji kachiel. Mochako gimiluongo ni piny luo. Gini wasegomba to ne pok otimore. To sani otimore kendo biro bedo nyime. Omiyo agoni erokamano. Gini eri oyawo wang' ji mang'eny. Kata an bende oyawo wang'a. Ni kara piny luo ok en mana Kenya ka. Kara piny luo oting'o jo Uganda ma bende waneno gi ka. Piny luo oting'o jo Tanganyika bende gin kacha, jo Mwaroria. Piny luo oting'o jo Sudan, oting'o jo Congo, oting'o jo Ethiopia. To kara walicha. Higa ni watime ka. Higni mabiro time ka. To kamoro higni mabiro mbele kucha. Ok nwatime Kenya ka. Nwatime kata Uganda, kata Sudan, kata Ethiopia, kata Congo. Nikech waduto wan gi moradi. Ber. An gima ndawachnu kaka jowa nyithi joluo. Ang'e ni weche ng'eny kendo ji paro mopogore. Gik mabeyo osewach kar kae. To nyaka wapar ni to en ang'o manyalo kelowa kaachiel. Ang'o ma kwatimo to wanyalo bedo kaachiel. Ok mano nyaka go back to the drawing board. Buang'in en ang'o manyalo kelowa kaachiel. Weche mang'eny nyalo pogowa. Iwinjo ng'ato wacho ni an aja loka, an aja kune, an aja kanye. Mago weche mapogo ji. Weche moko pe mapogo ji gin weche mag kaka neno ka siasa moro do chopo ka siasa yiera kuma idwa dhiye. To kik forget ni jang'o. Ang'e gima udwa wachona. Koro jogo duto warwako. Ng'ato nyalo kier matin. To kiduogo, to duoge e laini. To kibire laini. Wawe animo miya thuolo mar loso kin kawuono. Kibire laini. To chak chien kuma nene. Ng'at mogik chien kuche midhi chake. Mano bende wayie. Kamano. Omiyo kik waked kod gimiero. Gin jowa. Kihinye ichwero remb jaluo wadu. Gi joluo manie Kenya ka. Tim moro tinde wahero. Ma anta anka tim no chwanya. To koro nyaka wanawachnu go awacha. Tim moro ni ka wadhi e liel. Ka wan gi liel. To dhano biro e liel ywak. To in idhi mane liel mar gori gi jawadu. Ya watimno to nonego wakwere ka wan oganda ng'eny kamae. Jok makelo lweny e liete ji. Ukwong'ogi.
Udagi. Udagi. Kidhiti bedo na most yuaka ka yuaki hero kitieko titimango. Idhi dala. To mogik an kawuono ka an wuon wach. Luonga mana bia mosu. To mogik joluo nyakwa ket tekowa e wach mar puonjruok mag nyithindwa. Wach mar education, wach mar somo. Kokwa puonjo nyithindwa gi, to jok winjo kiluonga ni profesa kia ng'ano, profesa ng'ane, dokta ng'ane, biro bedo maonge mbele ka. Kokung'e wachno, biro bedo maonge mbele ka. Ema nyakwa ket maine wach mar puonjo nyithindwa. Litna ka winjo tinde ji nyiewo degree. Makata ng'ane be nyicho bedo nojonango PhD. Muno bedo engineer man gi PhD. To kata skul okonyono, yawa wawe wach no ero. Somo bed somo mar adier. To kikupani kucha kende, kata iwaka. Obed somo mar adier, nikech somo mar adier eminyalo gero go piny. To kwadwa gero pinywa, nyaka wadwa nyithindwa gi nyaka wami proper education. Nyaka wamigi, ang'eni ka chopo kar kanyo to ji ling'. To kata kuling', nyaka wamigi. Kidwaro japuonj mariek kabisa manyalo puonjo nyithindo maber, inwang'e kanye? Oa kanye? Nyalore koso ok nyalre? An kawuono ka an gi wach mang'eny, an adwa mana mosou kendo nyisou ni amor kodu kabisa kanenou. Amor kodu. Koro celebration mwantiegi, omiyo ka aneno ker erokamano bedo ker maluo, aneno jotelo mopogore opogore ka, amor kodu, erokamano kuom bedo ka, to unu lead the way and us will follow. Erokamano, Nyasaye ogwedhu.
Mako mamano morito rengo. Ting'e gimomiyo orita maber. Mama nopuonje. Erokamano be. Sama wuoyo ka ng'eni karo rita ga toka kar kae. To da hero mdegin, an chon ne an japuonj. An jok mana puonjo. Ema mi jo kacho mar education. Jok mana puonjo gin who is who. Oka puonjo jok ma oremie kor gweng'. Achiel kuom jok mana puonjo en Beti Murungi Orengo, nyako mochung' e dirani. Donge ang'en sache moko nene mana ni donge mano jaod Orengo. En well educated. En a lawyer of high standards. Osetiyo kata gi UN as a lawyer. Betty, just say hello to them.
Nyasaye ber. Sechete. Karibuni sana Migwena. Some of us have come to spoil for our partners. Tumekuja na wao hapa Migwena. We look forward to welcoming you to all the ceremonies over the next 2 days. Karibuni sana, our visitors from all over Africa and the beyond. We're very happy in Siaya to be hosting you for this, our annual Piny Luo Festival. Thank you very much, Min Piny, for having taught me and having taught many of us here. Asante sana Baba for honoring us, obviously, with your presence. We appreciate you.
Ker erokamano ahinya.
Ker ong'eyo. Ker bo ong'e nyako ni. Erokamano. Nitie gimo ma min piny owacho kae. And I want to repeat it loudly. And please bear with me. In a lot of the events that are going on now are being covered live in NTV. But the reason I want to say this because next year we are going to go either to Migori or to Kisumu. But I think it has been decided it is Migori. Now, if you look all around, we have been assisted by institutions in the corporate world. And I want to mention all of them because they intend to go with us to Migori. They told me as much. And they are watching us to see whether it is necessary to continue investing into Piny. There are only 3 cultural festivals in the country where the national government has been giving assistance. The first is the Turkana one, the Ma community, and the Lamu Cultural Festival. This time around, and I want to thank you, Baba, Raila Amolo Odinga. The national government has invested resources and assets in Piny, and I want to register my felicitation to the national government, particularly the Ministry of Tourism, the ministry in charge of sports, and the ministry in charge of culture. And their representatives are here, and they're going to be with us throughout to know whether it is useful to continue investing into Piny. But they have made their decision. But it depends on what we do. I want to appreciate the Nation newspaper group together with the Nation group or the Aga Khan group, because we got 2 institutions from the Aga Khan group, that is the Nation and the Diamond Trust Bank. They have assisted us. We have also been assisted by the Kenya Aviation Authority. If you go to the airports all over the country, they have put banners for Piny. Everybody arriving in Kenya today, whether it's Jomo Kenyatta, whether it's Mombasa, everywhere, they are advertising the Piny, and we want them to continue doing that. We have also received assistance from the Kenya Commercial Bank, from the Cooperative Bank, from the Diamond Trust Bank, from the NCBA Bank. We have received assistance from LAP Fund. We have received assistance from Safaricom. We have also received assistance from Kenya Airways, making it possible for Gor Mahia team to come by air. I think they came yesterday, courtesy Kenya Airways. And they have said when Yanga is coming in February, they will pay for their tickets and pay for Gor Mahia Kogalo. We have also received assistance from KBL, Kenya Brewers Limited, and from Just University. All these organizations are saying they want to be part of the team of sponsors and partners for Piny. So we are going to meet them in Migori. How many people would welcome this organization and others to continue giving assistance to Piny? Let me see a show of hands. Koroku yena abe adwa wacho gimoro matin, nitie joloso moko mabende biro, to adwa wacho gimoro matin kae. In history, and right now, in a lot of discourse, in matters concerning affairs of men and women who have changed humankind, one of the greatest debates in England is who is the greatest Englishman who ever lived. And the debate is normally and most of the times between Shakespeare and Winston Churchill. And Winston Churchill, not because he was a prime minister, because he was a great writer and historian. And the other person in England, sometimes that names keep on coming, is Sir Isaac Newton. If we talk about the greatest black man that ever lived, the debate is between Martin Luther King or Nelson Mandela. Not so much because they were princes or kings or monarchs, but because of what they did for the world and for the nation. And in that category falls one called Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. In the United States of America, when they talk about the greatest American that ever lived, the name that keeps on coming is that of Abraham Lincoln. Not because he was president of the United States of America, but because he believed that America cannot be great if it is half free and half slave. Our Lord Jesus Christ, whom we worship, was never a pope. He never occupied any position. He was never a cardinal. But his history and work goes across continents. Even for that matter, Muhammad the prophet, he was not a king, he was not a monarch. But what he did for many, many centuries, and we're talking about over nearly 2,000 centuries, is because of what they stood for and what they did. And I want to remind the Luo nation, and this I want to say without fear of contradiction, that Raila Amolo Odinga is a great Kenyan and a great statesman, not because he is a party leader, not because at one time he was a minister. Raila Amolo Odinga is a great Kenyan because of what he stands for. And you will find any time we have made a decision, including now, to work with partners, Raila will never allow you to do what is wrong. And I'm glad, Baba, that when it came to the question of abductions, you spoke plainly. You didn't mince your words. And I am saying for the Luo nation, we may not have been produced a president in this nation, but the time will come. The time will come. The time will come. And the reason why that time will come is because of the sense of justice of the Luo community. The greatest asset that we have is not money, is not the land we own. It is our sense of justice. And on that one, I can tell you tomorrow, yesterday, and in the future, that the leaders have never been mediocre. They stand up. Jeremiah, one of the most brilliant politicians who left a record, but because of his sense of justice. Tom Mboya had a sense of justice. Arsene Kodek had a sense of justice. And I can tell you, because of Raila's sense of justice, that is why he has won elections. Me, I believe that Raila was and is president because many times he was robbed of election, and that should never happen. So I want to plead with you. Sometimes we can get a sense of excitement and euphoria. Sometimes we can get a sense of excitement and euphoria. At least in my lifetime, I've been in politics with people like Odongo Mamo or Okiki Amayo. And when you heard them talk, it was like the president was king. We must always remember that we stand by our constitution. That is the basic document that must guide us. And that constitution is what now allows us to express our identity in language, culture, and when we are all gone, it is our culture and identity that will determine who we were. The pharaohs, the Egyptians, their history lives today because they left a culture which we can still access. Now, for Piny, our history is rich. And I ask you, when you are here, take 2-3 hours in Gotramogi. Then you begin to know who you are. You cannot leave Kenya and go to America and visit Arlington Cemetery to see where Kennedy is buried. And you're a Luo and you don't know where Ramogi is buried just next door. You have to do that. You cannot be a Luo if you don't know how other Luos, how they live, their history. And I'm so happy with the delegation, all the delegations that have come. We have got kings, we got governors. In Uganda, we have prime ministers. They are all here with you. And in DRC, there used to be a little girl called Akumu, Nana Akumu. A lot of people didn't know that he was a Congolese Luo. And Dr. Buru, they tell me that they're not just 4 million, they're about 8 million. So, Kenya, we are here as a Luo nation, not to preach discrimination or exclusivity. We are not going to be people of the lake in exclusion of other Kenyans, like other people preach about mountains. We believe in unity and diversity, as Adam Solo said. That is what is going to make us great. This is what makes Raila Amolo Odinga standing for justice, standing for the truth, standing for the common people, having pro-people policies. That is what is going to make a difference. Omio, angimano, emanyalo wacho, mora hinya gijimobiro, megwena, koa ka kinyuparu bi wichlum, ka uono wadi gotramogi, gikopondo, kendo oruye, nwabed Ramogi, kendo nwabed Siaya, Kababa, Siaya Tatien. And in conclusion, Raila Amolo Odinga, I want to appreciate for you making it possible. It has never happened, never, that through your leadership and vision, we got all these people from the Luo nation from across Africa. That is one. Secondly, you have made it possible for 2 heads of state, sitting heads of state, to come to join with you to celebrate an event in Siaya. It has never happened. It has never happened. It has never happened. But next year, we'll come to you, now that you'll be the head of Africa, to bring us 6, 7, 8 presidents to Migori, or to Homa Bay, or to Kisumu. Awacho kutoka wacho. Awacho kutoka wacho. Joey! 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 Polo Piach! Polo Piach! Polo Piach! Polo Piach! Koro Yenaura Duong, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Right Honorable Raila Odinga.
Kabao Yuma Kangato, Kabao Yuma Kangato. Kabayuma kangato, kabayuma kangato. Kavernono kangato, kavernono kangato. Oh, emokil. Kabayuma kangato, kabayuma kangato. Gwambo. Kavernono kangato nyongo. Kabayuma kangato wanga. Kabayuma kangato ida. Kabayuma kangato kamielno kangato buru. Kabayuma kangato opia. Kamielno kangato dungi. Kabayuma kangato gwambo. Agwambo naraka. Baba Raila tiraka nangotela. E baba naraka. Ajimi orengo tiraka nangotela. Ajimi naraka. Mama wanga tiraka nangotela. Miel nang nekendo norwaka. Ai norwaka. Dugna nekendo. Siaya wiye, Kisumo wiye, Migori wiye, Kisi wiye, Kenya wiye, nango baba tosha wan wiye kode chut, nango baba tosha wan, nango Siaya wiye, Migori wiye, Homa Bay wiye, Migori wiye, Kisumo wiye, Siaya wiye, Nairobi wiye, nango baba tosha wan wiye.
Asante sana, asante sana. Asante.
Ancora baba ancora di baba ancora di.
Haya. Jothurwa. Umor. Jokanyana mumor. Kanyana muil. Kanyana muchiek. Eze machiko tigine bargi. Ero kamano. Niwendo mobiro, our guests who have come from outside Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, DRC, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and the diaspora in the US and in Europe and Australia. Saureuru, Hamjambo. I want to welcome all the visitors who have come to join us today for this wonderful occasion. It is a great occasion for the Luo nation here. There are only, I think, 2 other communities who have some similar celebrations. The Teso here have an annual event where they bring their Emormor. Emormor is the king of the Teso, but he lives in Uganda. But he comes here annually and they have a reunion here. They also have a similar event in Uganda. Then the Turkana have what they call the Tobong Lore. Tobong Lore is a big festival. They bring people of Turkana from different parts. The Toposa in the South Sudan, the Karamoja in Uganda, and the other group which are in Ethiopia. They come and every year they have
such a festival in Lodwar. Now, this is not a political event. It is basically a cultural event that brings people together who share the same culture to be able to unite, because culture itself is a source of civilization. That's why the Waswahili say, mwacha mila ni mtumwa. That if you forget your culture, you become basically a slave. So I've got some remarks I want to make in English. Then I will speak in the Luo and also in Kiswahili. We gather here at a time in which the world is increasingly interconnected through globalization, while at the same time we are witnessing the resurgence of nationalist aspirations. This resurgence of nationalist aspirations is being complemented by the emergence of multinationalism, which is nurtured by resilient communities. These multinational inspirations do not seek to undermine the national project in their host countries, but rather to harness the linguistic, cultural, and social fabric upon which most nation states were built. In Africa, we are more of state nations as opposed to nation states, given that the state in Africa, thanks to the Berlin Conference, saw states being engineered from above through artificially created boundaries. These consequences of these colonial boundaries were the fragmentation of cohesive lingual and cultural communities, which were dismembered, separated, and distributed among different states to satisfy colonial ambitions for socio-economic control and exploitation. Despite these divisions, pre-colonial African nations have demonstrated remarkable resilience, continuing to thrive across nationalities imposed upon them by colonial powers. It is within this context that the Luos from across Africa and the diaspora have gathered here in Siaya at the foot of Gotramogi, to the revered shrine of the Kenyan Luo, to reflect on the state of the Luo nation in the spirit of unity and diversity. Luo delegations, led by their respective cares, that's cultural leaders, have converged from Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, South Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, and other nations. They are also joined by non-Luo participants who have come to celebrate alongside Luos, embracing unity and shared heritage that transcends the national borders. To say that multinationalism has come of age is therefore an understatement. This cultural festival embraces a multifaceted theme, fostering unity and diversity, not only among Luos across national borders, but also among diverse national groups unified by their shared African identity. Over these 3 days, we will celebrate our traditional cuisines, rediscover and adapt our traditional cultures to modernity, engage in traditional games, and enjoy art, music, and festivities cherished by our forefathers. We will deliberate on the state of the Luo nation and chart a way forward in a rapidly changing world. As our forefathers proclaimed, this gathering is guided by the enduring spirit of the Luo nation, captured in our rallying call, 1, 1, one. Repeat. One, one. Talking. One. Gin. One. Gin. Hello. Kawuono wane gi miluongo ni galamoro. Luongo nang'o? Iluongo nang'o? Nuokendo. 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 Eruru kamano. Koro kaw gini. Hello? Hello? Koro wan ka. Wan migwena. Wan kanye. To nitie kamiluongo ni wich lum. Iluongo nang'o? Tiluongo ni got ramogi. Iluongo nang'o? Tiluongo ni siaya kababa. Iluongo nang'o? To gibondo. Gibondo. Kawuono wan migwena ka oburo osewachonu. This used to be a place where people used to compete on an annual basis from time immemorial. I'm going to tell you so that our friends from Uganda will understand how the Luos of Kenya came about here. But here was a place where people used to compete. Now you have a division here called Bondo Division. It used to consist of Uyoma, Asembo, Imbo, and Sakwa. Where we are here is Sakwa. And people used to compete here. There used to be tug of war. There used to be wrestling. Amen. And then they used to play soccer. Girls used to play netball. They used to run Apudhinjiri. 100 yards, 220, 440, 1 mile, 5 miles, and 10 miles. But here now, people used to come, the teams would come from those 4 locations to run. Now, in one of those occasions, a girl came. She was not from this division. She came from what would be known as Boro Division in Alego and Ugenya, those sides. She came to visit her auntie, who was married here, somewhere around Bondo. And then there's Migwena Sports. So she came. And then the relative said that she was also an athlete. She used to compete in that other division. So she was allowed to compete with girls here in the sprints as a guest runner. And when they went 100 meters, she beat all those girls. Everybody was surprised. Then went 220. Then she beat them so far away that she caught the attention of one Jaramogi, Oginga Odinga. To nyako majaber manyo bonyiricha. En kanye. En kanye. Nundo dwaret. So they would, oh, she's not from here. Her auntie was married. Then Jaramogi said, I want to see her. Then he was told that girl is so proud. She had rejected so many men that we don't think he will succeed. Then we approached and tried. Eventually, he was giving up. But he had his cousins who were experts in seducing girls. So he was told that, oh, eventually this one has accepted and cows were being sent. That's when he now realized that something was serious. So that story is in Not Yet Uhuru, written by Jaramogi himself. That is how Raila and Uhuru came about. Mama Mary, Emma, Odhiambo, Odinga. This is Jaramogi met her here in Migwena. That's why Orango challenge you man ka. You man ka. You te untie. To nyiribe untie. Nyimegene untie. Unge gima wacho. Kadwa dhi loka. Now, as you have seen, you have people from the diaspora. They are the Acholi here, the Padola, the Alur, the Jonam, the Jurchol, the Shiluk, Anyuak, the Gambela. Now, the Luos here in Kenya are a hybrid lot. The Luos here in Kenya are a hybrid. The first group that came here and landed at Gotramogi 800 years ago are called the Joke people. The joke. The joke people came from Acholi. There they're called the Pajok. They live in the border between Uganda and South Sudan, a place called Nimule. Some of them are in South Sudan, some of them in Uganda. The Pajok. That's the group that came together and were led by one Ramogi, and they came and settled in that hill where we are going to go, Ramogi. That is the first settlement of the Luo in Kenya, over 800 years ago. They went up there, and tomorrow visitors will be able to see the shrine. There's a place where they settled, their home, Dala. There's a house there, Ot. Then several houses of them, of wives there, are there. You have recreated them. There's also Dual of Ramogi. And then there is a Cool, where they were keeping cattle. Then there's also Rapogi. Rapogi is a big rock where they used to sharpen their spears and arrows when they were going to war. Then there is also Pong, a grinding stone that they used to grind millet and other grains. And there is also Loch. This lodge was where they were hitching cows. It was put on the ground, but it grew up and became a big tree. It is there up to today. There's also Soko, where they used to get water, fresh water. It's there, that's Soko up to today. The Virgin Maria people go to baptize people there up to now. So all that is there is a big history of the Luo people. That's why we said we are making Ramogi Hill a shrine of the Luo. There's now a hut which is called Siaya. And the hut which is called Kisumo. And the hut is called Homa Bay. Another one is called Migori. Symbolic to the clans here, there. Now the Joke people, today in present day Luo, Joke, are, you need to know that when the population grew up, they started now to move out. Hey, hello? Hello? When the population grew, they started migrating. And they migrated, and this place here, Migwena, became the dispersal point. But the first to move out of the Gotramogi was Alego. Alego Mawuramogi. It's the one who moved from Gotramogi first and crossed the River Yala into present-day Alego. Now, today, in the present-day Alego, the descendants of Alego himself are three clans. the Jokanyinek, Seje, Mabuda Lego Maduong, and Dengi. Those are the descendants of Alego. The rest are actually settlers. Then it took 250 years before the second group of migrants came. 250 years. When the second lot came, this one came from the Padola. The Padola, the Owiny brother of Padola, came with these people through the normal migration corridor, Samia, Bugwe, into Bunyala. And then after a while, they crossed the Banzoya. They came and found the Alego people there. Already Seje, the son of Alego, the eldest son, was crowned as the chief. Seje was the king of the Alego clans there. But when they came, they said, we cannot be ruled by another king because Owiny had already been made a king in Manyala. So they deposed Seje, and Owiny took over. And Owiny now became the king and began to torture the Alego people, Lord Jokowiny. The Owiny clan today in Alego are the Kogelo, the Kaluo, the Karuoth, the Moor, these other people around Siaya, Karapul. Then in Imbo, you have them, Jo Kadimo, Jokowil, Gumunyajira. And they are the ones who are also there in Asembo called Kanyigoro. And this also the Waundu in Sadoka. The Joke people are Asunda Lego, the others are Oyua Nyakaj, others are Owidi and Rombo Kisumo, Nyikal Seme, Rachuonyo, and Chwanya, Karunguka Dame, and Kaboch and Kanyamwa in South Nyanza. Those are the Joke people. The third wave of migrants came from the Aluru, who are from the West Nile and Eastern DRC. They are called the Jokomolo. There they are called the Paimol. Here they are called Jokomolo. They came 100 years later and followed the same migration corridor. And then when they came over Nzoia, they found when Owiny was ruling those Alego people very ruthlessly. They teamed up with the Alego people and with the post of Owiny, and Seje became the leader again. The Molo people. Their first settlement is a Lego place called Boro. This Molo group here, you find them in Ugenya, majority, Kager, Jokapuny, Jokateg, Boro, and so on. And in game, we call them Jokojuodi and Kwenda. On the other side, they're called Kochia, Jokanyada, and Jokagan, who are Jokakan in Alego this side. That is the Molo group. Okay? The fourth group, all these groups also went to Gotramogi first. The fourth group and the last group are called the Wanga. Wanga came from the Padola also. And then they moved Wanga. If you go to Bunyala there's a hill called Wanga Hill, God Wanga. And from there, they moved and passed through Alego and went all the way to a place called Tiriki. They settled there for a while. There was Nyadundo, Wanga, and Owila. Nyadundo remained there. The people we call the Tiriki, if you ask them, their ancestors called Nyadundo. Wanga moved to Matungu. where he subdued the people he found there and became the king, Nabongo. The first and the only king that was found here, Wanga. And then they were there with Owila. Owila, when you told him something funny, he would laugh at you and say, Joyuma kabisa. Joyuma hinya. That is where the word Oyoma came from. Then Wanga had a wife called Sakwa. And with that, Sakwa gave birth to a son called Matar. Now, Wila people moved from when there was pressure on land, population had grown, the Wila people moved back to Luoland and settled in Alego. Their settlement there is called Uyoma up to today, near a place called Kobare. That is their settlement. Then Matar people came and followed them and found them there. They settled there. There another person called Lay had come on his own from Asoliland and joined them there. This Lay, there in a Choliland they called the Palais. The Palais came and joined. Lay had a girl who was grown up, Amolo Nyale, whom Awila married. And that is the origin of the Oyoma people, Jokamolo, Jokatwenga, Jokabudha, Jokobong. And that's why for a long time they did not used to marry with a simple Kalei. Jokabondo, Jokakia, Jokonyango, Jokoching, and so on. So that now gives you the meaning of the Luo, the diaspora, the mixture. The last ones are the Suba. The Suba came from Buganda, the original settlers. They were called Abakunta, who came there, killed a king there called Kabaka Junju. And now the Kabaka Askaris were chasing them. They ran to the lake, they went first to Bosoga, then eventually they ended up in Fangano Island. And then they came ashore. They were mostly men looking for girls. The Luos told them, if you want to marry our girls, you must remove 6 lower teeth first. Wakasema ati kama nikitoa meno 6 peke yake napata bibi, toa mara moja. Wakatoa meno 6 wakapata wasichana. So, but you see, these people came from Buganda royal family, and you need to know that Buganda royal family was originally of Luo origin. The Kabakas were actually Luos. I'm saying this, Ugandans will confirm, even Museveni will confirm to you when he comes. This story I'm telling you. So although they were speaking Kibantu, but for a long time in Kibaka's court, they were Luo speaking. But then because they were living with so many Bantus, they lost their tongue. And they need there. Therefore, I'm saying that although they were coming here, they were not real strangers. The Suba group. And the Subas, of course, some came from Tanzania, some came from Ukerewe Island, and so on and so forth. So all that I'm trying to say in a short is that the Luo group here is a hybrid, a mixture of Acholi, the Padola, the Aluru, and the Baganda, which are here. This is Tanganyika, in short. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is that the Luo unity is why they have managed to survive and live up to today. Most of these places where they now settled were occupied by other people. And they pushed these people, and then they occupied the land around here, but very peacefully. This is very important. Now there are cultures of our people which are important for children to know and understand. This is what creates a nation. So he's saying that in this country we have got communities with different cultures. We say that diversity is our richness, unity in diversity. So in celebrating this thing here does not mean that we now want to discriminate against the Luhyas. We have lived with the Luhyas for a long time peacefully. They have, for example, the Maragoli cultural festival every year, which is fine. The Kisi, the Kuria, the Nandi, the Kipsigis and so on, we live together peacefully. So what we're trying to do here is not exclusive. We're not trying to discriminate against any other community. We just want our people to understand our culture, and it's important. And also to participate also in business and also in other activities that make life bearable for communities. So I'm very happy today that we are here at Piny. Piny is here today. Piny is here, and we have got Ker Odungiranda, Udarangi. Chumbono jogo nini kendo. Joey! 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 Africa consists of communities with diverse backgrounds. You have had movement in Africa for generations. They are here called the group that are called the Negroid race. You have the Bantus, you have the Nilotes, you have the Kushites, you have the Hamites, you have the Hottentots, and the Pygmies. But they've migrated and integrated. And here, they're blended. The original Luos who came were tall black people. If you look at colonial literature, the Nilotics, tall, pitch black, slender. Bantu, short, stout, brown, and thick lips and round noses. Now, you can see the intermarriage has brought the Luos a little bit down and brought the Luhyas, for example, slightly higher up. So we are now a hybrid, and we're a hybrid. And this is the richness of our culture and our people. So we are here, and we are happy to be here. And so this is a very great occasion today, as we celebrate Piny today. Piny today, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, gin, tuan kanye, galamuru, one kanye, you throw more. You throw il. Ero kamano koro wachunuka. King jiditi ma amend, king team re donam. Togi gi yedi king pim. Kaya riti sport bro team reka. Kaka ne team rechon. Ibro yuwa kwa hunuka. Toruecha. Kakawono anguthi ambo. Jibro decho just. Kumangidi yawe higa. Kujimangidi yawe higa. Mangidi mirenya kache. Umorgo. Ito tieng tarikario. Tuolgo Ramogi kaito Siaya kababa. Mtie stadium maduong ma Siaya. Ma governor Rasanga no chako gero to lengo tieko. Moloso maber kabisa. Ku stadium no idhi yao. Idhi chako ni Jaramogi Stadium. Kanyo team ma Uganda, ma champion ma Uganda. Digo chogi gorko galo. To motelo. To wajumbe wagi. Digo mpira gi Piny Luo combine. Katen resa. Kose logi. Tae kureka. Ano go tiene protest. Akoni ko sa logi. Te kore ka ko wadi gire. Ka ko wadi fira malich ma gor mahia. Gor ko galo. Tim moloyo. Timio kikombe lungo ni Jaramogi Odinga Cup. Oye ko yuturwa. Yuturo mor. Kro mi wacho ni Piny Luo Festival 2024 in Siaya is officially launched. Jokanyanam, hey! Eruka mana ini?